Journeyman has a problem. The story revolves around our male character remembering something a woman once said to him. It needs to be a woman's voice, obviously, but it also needs to be an emotional performance. This isn't just informational dialogue. Someone has to act it. In the past, when I've needed female voices, I've generally recruited my friends. For example, this character from a little project I started but never finished.
He's the guy that told Chrysler the Cadillac was getting rid of its fins.
And of course, the theme song for my sportscaster character, The Taint, where I replaced the original AI vocal with my good friend Sarah.
You think he's an ass, but he ain't. He's the taint.
And most recently, the Game Salts representative from my vibe-coded PicGen project, which you should definitely check out over at Game Salts.
Another challenge with AI image generation is artifacting.
So who would provide the female voice for Journeyman? My first thought was to do what I have always done and recruit someone I know. The first person who came to mind was the daughter of close friends who is already taking drama classes and considering a career in film and theater. I think her voice would be great for the project, but she's only 16. Now, there's nothing explicitly exploitative in the story or the script, but the essence of it is romantic, and I'd assume avoid anything even remotely on the same spectrum as Melanie Griffith in Night Moves.
Did you come to get your shirt back?
No.
That led me to open source AI. I want to find out whether I could use my own performance and convert my male voice into a believable female voice. I think many of us are developing a love-hate relationship with AI, and it's here to stay. It's getting better and worse. And I do think it's worth using where it makes sense, and avoiding it when it doesn't make sense. So for now, let's see. Or, in this case, let's listen. The following is a snippet from the work-in-progress script performed by me. I always wanted a stone house. Stone wares with such dignity. The question was whether AI could turn that into a believable female performance. The open source platform I decided to try is Applio. It allows you to download community-made voices and convert an existing performance. And to be honest, the community voices did not sound great.
I always wanted a stone house. Stone wares with such dignity.
I always wanted a stone house. Stone wares with such dignity.
I always wanted a stone house. Stone wares with such dignity.
Those are pretty bad. I didn't know exactly what I wanted the woman to sound like, but I knew that wasn't it. So I asked myself, all right, what exactly am I looking for? And the first voice that came to mind was this.
My father was an experienced seaman. You know, he didn't get washed overboard. I have a feeling that this wasn't an accident. I told you on the telephone I want you to find my father. Will you?
That is Wendy Gerard, an actress who did much for television work in the 80s and is also an accomplished stage and voice actor. She has a very distinctive voice, and it lives somewhere in the realm of what I imagine for Journeyman. And now we arrive at the dilemma. You might ask, why not just clone Wendy Gerard's voice? Well, I did. As a learning exercise, I wanted to see whether I could build a convincing model of her voice using Applio. The results were shockingly good. In fact, the voice probably would have worked perfectly for this simple little short film. Mission accomplished, right? No. This is not a preaching video. Everyone has to decide where their own ethical boundaries are. I'm willing to test the limits of fair use when it comes to previously published work, such as the actual clip from Magnum PI that I used to introduce Wendy Gerard. But cloning a real person's voice or generating their likeness and then using it in a new production without permission feels fundamentally wrong to me. It also raises plenty of legal issues involving a person's voice, identity, and right of publicity. So I am not going to play the Wendy Girard clone. You'll have to take my word for it. It frighteningly turned out very good. I even considered contacting Ms. Girard. She has an account on Voice123, but it has been inactive for 11 years, and her website is no longer online. Even so, I sent her a message through Voice123 and LinkedIn. But if that experience turns out anything like my attempt to contact Apes of the State about using one of their performances, my expectations are...
What's this? It's a bag of crickets, you daft wanker!
So I pivoted. ElevenLabs and Runway both offer AI-generated voices created from prompts. I thought I might be onto something. Surely the voices produced by paid commercial services would be better than the open source downloads. I could simply describe a voice in the general realm of Wendy Girard's without copying Wendy Girard. Here's the problem. Voice prompting isn't like image prompting. To my ear, most generated AI voices sound like mild variations on the same personality-free starting point. They may sound technically clean, they may pronounce everything correctly, they may even sound human, right up until you ask them to actually sound human. When a scene needs genuine emotion, AI still tends to flatten the performance, even when you give it a human performance as its source.
I always wanted a stone house. Stone wears with such dignity. I always wanted a stone house. Stone wears with such dignity.
After all of that, I arrived right back where I started, begging a friend. I reached out to my good friend Jay Frank, and she agreed to give it a shot.
I always wanted a stone house. Stone wears with such dignity.
We'll see where it goes from here. I still have to finish the film, polish the script, carefully navigate the eggshell minefield that is critiquing a friend's performance and asking her to record multiple takes. Love you, Jay Frank! But eventually, this thing will get done. And that is really why I'm making this video, to document the absurd roundabout process that brought me back to the most obvious answer. Now, I will absolutely use AI-generated voices in the right circumstances, and I'm sure the technology will continue to improve. But when you need a truly emotional, genuinely human performance, you just can't beat a human.
It's a bag of crickets, you daft wanker!